Hey, what's up, guys? Max here, and we can't go without covering season 27 of Battlegrounds. So, one of my favorite game modes, and let's discuss this whole situation because it is a bit of a situation. So, Kabam, is I would say under fire.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
Okay, and the reason why is a lot of recent outbreak on videos and discussions, Discord, line chats, forums have been going on that Battlegrounds feels extremely outdated. They haven't looked into the game mode, and a lot of it, at the beginning of Battlegrounds from Kabam, they kind of said, hey, we're gonna be updating this periodically, frequently, and we haven't seen much, and so with those recent videos actually made something happen, which doesn't really happen as often. But in this first initial post by Kabam here on season 27, they actually reference what they're discussing and what they did. So if you click on the check it out here button, it's going to direct you to Kabam's dork post. And he makes a comment and talks to the community and talks to a lot of the creators that made recent videos on the latest strings of videos regarding the mode. So there's been a bunch of discussion. Again, a lot of content creators big content creators making videos on the game mode of Battlegrounds and how they're just unhappy. They're not playing it. They're not pushing as they used to when the first game mode first came out. Seasons 1 through 5 and were extremely exciting, but that kind of dwindled away, which is expected. But because the game mode is so thriving and is so addicting and is so fun for certain people, certain players, they also wanted more out of it, right? They want more focus from Kabam at it, and I think, it caused a gigantic event, which was the Battleground Brawl, which, that was located and focused in Canada, flew out players out there to compete live in front of everybody. So can't say that it wasn't successful when it caused that to happen. And we haven't seen that happen again ever since that one time. So, yeah, all that to bring this discussion, and basically what are we going to cover today in this video is the changes to Battlegrounds and what to expect for season 27. So we're going to be getting 2 new things added into Battlegrounds, and you might think, personally, I think it too, is that it's not a big thing. They could have implemented these things anywhere else in the game, but they chose Battlegrounds because that's the source of a game mode that exists, and I think it's playable with a lot of players. But they're going to be introducing these light essence and dark plumes into the game mode of Battlegrounds. And all you got to do is make it to Gladiator Circuit. I know it might be difficult for certain players. For some, not really. They knock it out within the first day if they wanted to. Some of them just kind of spread out that enjoyment for about a week. So you can make it into the Gladiator Circuit, and you're going to end up getting rewarded with light essence and some plumes again. And that's going to give you that Lumatrix and that 7-star Dark Phoenix, which we don't know yet what those champions involved and how they're gonna look. But expectations are pretty, I wouldn't say at a 10 out of 10, but expectations are really high, maybe within a 7, 8 for these champions. But this is going to be a source of you being able to get those resources to be able to claim and get that champion. So that is not the biggest thing to talk about here. The biggest thing to talk about here is going to be the scoring changes. So I don't remember, but this is basically Kabam reverting back to something that they implemented back. Oh yeah, I have it here actually. I have it. Season 9 is when they did the initial change from points going from 15,000 to 10,000, and now in season 27 of 2025 they're going from 10,000 to 15,000. So they're bringing it back basically. But this was back in June of 2023, which was the change in season 9 that caused that. So now we're in season 27. and we're going back. It's not that we're going backwards, I would say, is that we're going back to something that they had changed. So it is not something new. It is, I would say, a little bit of a tweak of Battlegrounds in general, because it's not a huge change to the game mode. It is a tweak into the points, but it is a big one. Not to like put it lightly, because that is going to change the way you choose your defenders and you choose your attackers. You're going to focus on basically focusing on anything that nukes, and so everything that nukes is what you're going to want to take into Battlegrounds. And you're going to actually, they make reference to that in that post in season 9. If you look back, they make reference about how players were choosing stallers. And if you chose a staller and drafted the staller and drafted like 2 or 3 nukes, you were pretty much getting guaranteed the win, because the speed is what matters a lot back then. Now, again, I don't fully recall how that played out because it's been such a long time ago. We talked about this in the live stream and how like I can't even remember what I pulled for my last crystal when I opened it, or when I opened my last crystal. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how that feels again. But it's been discussed across the community, and it's been like, hey, yeah, it's gonna go back to like a nuke meta and like choosing stallers, champions that you can't fully nuke, but as fast as like 30 seconds. But maybe have a second life like Nick Fury. Nick Fury, it's might be still viable, even though we're seeing a lot of like decks filled with 7-star rank 3s or rank 2s. We're depending on the competitive game mode bracket you play in, you might not even run across any more like 7-star rank 1s or 6-star ascended, but we might see a Nick Fury still, just a reference, in a 6-star, right, still come about. But yeah, that is the biggest change inside Battlegrounds of season 27. Little but big, and when it comes to it. Now, is it what you were expecting? I think a lot of frustration is coming from the players, from expectations, right? Because Dork gave a comment about saying, hey, we see and hear the community and we're looking into it. Now, this post, to reference, it came out on March 14th. Okay, just a few days of, literally today, as of the recording of this, is like March 20th. So we're looking at like just days from one post to announcement of the next season. Even though seasons don't start at the beginning of the month, they are a month long, kind of a game mode. So when this came out, I knew myself personally that it wasn't going to happen in the next season. Okay, that's just not how things work. If you've been playing this game mode, Kabam will tweak little things just to kind of like say, hey, we're working on it. And I think that I might be completely wrong, but I feel like that's how they maybe looked into it. Like, hey, let's tweak a little something next season. I know the big changes, what they have planned, whether they're big for their description and not ours as players, is not yet going to happen. This is what we're getting for season 27, a change. Okay, and it's hopefully going into the direction of changing more things, which I think that's going to happen. But I truly don't believe that they're going to be ready to go for like season 28. I think it's going to be like season 29, if not 30. So expect to be like 2 or 3 months out when it comes to big changes, especially if they're going to be changing a lot in Battlegrounds. Now, that is not my personal suggestion. I truly don't feel like they should go and completely revamp entirely the way Battlegrounds works, because they may change things you might not like and you're just happy with it and you just want to see, most players just want to see rewards changes. But along with the rewards changes, there's little tweaks that can enhance Battlegrounds and the experience of Battlegrounds in general. So we're gonna be seeing that. I don't know when, but I'm sure we're gonna be seeing that, right? It's gotta happen. Here's my thing. I wish that Kabam would not just go and try to like completely change Battlegrounds completely, but they would just like implement changes every season, like whether it's the scoring, whether it's like the drafting. What if they implemented like, hey, now we're just gonna allow you to draft 20 champions. Hey, now we're gonna allow you to draft 40 champions. Like little things like that. I don't know if the game mode has the ability to tweak it like that monthly without breaking the game mode, because we know how bugs happen in this game, and unfortunately it's just a thing of this game. It's just, it sucks, but it exists. And if Kabam tries to throw something new at us, it's just gonna break it for most of the time. We can almost guarantee, like, look at raids right now. We're going through raids and it is a hot mess, man. So that's not the point of this video, but yeah, just to bring one game mode that gets changed and then bugs happen. So yeah, those are going to be the biggest changes, big announcements for season 27. So basically, resources to be able to get the 2 newest champions that are in the future, and the scoring, how that's going to be changed for speed. Since now fight duration is going to give you 5,000 more points, it's going to count towards the total score. Now this is all going to start obviously on March 26th, which is Wednesday, my birthday. So that's cool. I won't be available to start the season alive, unfortunately, but possibly looking at a start on the 27th on a live stream. So looking forward to that. And here you can see the changes to the nodes, what they're going to be implementing for like Gladiator Circuit week 1 and 2, obviously the victory track as well, and the changes for 3 and 4 weeks. So here is some extra rewards that they're adding to Battlegrounds. So obviously we have the emote, which now, you know, I was a big advocate of like canceling and muting emotes. Now we're getting too many emotes. I think we have 27 seasons of emotes and other emotes people were able to purchase. We need a little bit more slots to be able to use more emotes, or just cancel them. Like, they're not going to cancel them, but just like mute them. So I mean the mute button's still an option, but we'll love to have like more slots for more emotes because there's so many, right? So here's where you can find some of these plumes. Hopefully I'm saying that right. 10 dark plumes when you reach the Gladiator Circuit. This is a bit confusing. I think other people have brought it up to Kabam's attention too. Like, this is not very clear. So 1 light essence when you reach Gladiator Circuit. But let's say you were to reach the circuit in like the first week, first day, and you're like the first one to reach the Celestial one. You get the 12 light essence. Are you able to claim them? I don't think so. I think this is kind of like bad wording, but I think it's when you end the season. When it comes to rewards, I think. But again, we're assuming now, and it sucks because it's not very, very clear there. So those are going to be the extra rewards that are put into season 27, that are tied into the event of like the Dark Phoenix, right? And so Kabam kind of makes announcement this at the beginning too, that this is going to be like a 2-season kind of a thing. So again, just to put expectations out there, if it happens sooner, well, yes, we're happy, but I expect to season 27, which is what's going to start in a week, and season 28 to be not the changes you're looking forward as a player, or I'm looking forward, right? I think we're going to be seeing that in 29, or if not 30. But I do believe, crossing my fingers, that in the next live stream that Kabam launches, they come out and say, hey, these are the changes we're going to be doing. You know, this is what we're working on. And maybe, just maybe, gives us a timeline to when that is going to go live inside MCOC. So I don't know, guys. I know this last season, myself personally didn't play as much. I was focused in other things. I was focused on building my units. I focused on other things. So that is one thing about MCOC, that, you know, you can be a dedicated Marvel, like, war player, dedicated like questing player, difficult content player, you know, or arena player, or Battlegrounds player. There's so many different game modes, and hopefully Kabam is able to consistently manage all the game modes to keep everybody pleased, you know. But we're definitely seeing, like, they notice that there is a lot of players that focus specifically and enjoy Battlegrounds, and it is a game mode that keeps you active and keeps you involved. You know, there's a lot of reasons why this game mode can thrive even more. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this changes. I don't want to like take too much of your time, but yeah, those are my, like, at least expectations and kind of my point of view right now. So when it comes to frustrations and anger and just kind of like not feeling well about Battlegrounds, I'm not there. And the reason why is because my expectations are, again, when I saw the post that Kabam acknowledged the videos, I figured that was going to be at least 3 months before something got implemented and changed. if not longer, you know? So I was expected like, hey, once they acknowledge that, okay, give it 3 to 6 months, but ideally, I don't want to say 6 months, but ideally 3 months. My expectations were now, if it takes longer, then yeah, it takes longer, but I still think I am going to be participating actively in Battlegrounds because it is my favorite game mode. Like, it's the one that I enjoy playing the most. That is not going to discourage me from not playing it. It's just, yeah, if there's more rewards or more reason to try to push, yeah, of course we're gonna do it. But am I not gonna play the game because Battlegrounds hasn't been upgraded? Not for season 27. I think other things will discourage me from playing. Besides rewards being updated, you know, I think issues, those are the biggest ones. Issues are the ones that really discourage me from playing. But take care, guys. See you guys on the next one. Peace.